This is what I'm talking about each and every day. You want to get here so early to work that the lights aren't even on. Let's go. We're the first ones here on a Friday. We're fired up. I feel like there's this weird phenomenon. Let me get the camera. There's this weird thing where the longer the weeks go, the more people take their foot off the gas. Meaning it gets to Thursday and you say, I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep in. It gets to Friday and you say, oh, today is gonna be an easy day, I'm gonna take my foot off the gas. I look at it the opposite way. I say the longer the week goes on, the further, the faster, the harder I have to go. And that's why you gotta show up before the lights are even on. Because when you show up early, when you show up every day, let's get the lights on right here. And when you stay late, that's the secret to success right there. You don't need to be exceptionally talented. You don't need to be smarter than anyone. You don't need to be funnier than anyone. You don't need to be more entertaining than everyone. You don't need to be better looking than anyone. You just gotta show up each and every day, and that's what I do, and that's why I like to document my journey each step of the way. We're gonna get absolutely involved today. Make sure to drop a like now if you're in favor of this guy getting out of his speeding ticket. Thumbs up now, let's go. Time to make some cold calls, let's go. It's nearing the end of the afternoon for me here right now, and I'm doing some big time prospecting. I'm running Salesforce reports and I'm watching motivational videos to try and get myself through this because it's not always easy. It's what you do in the moments when no one's watching is what will really define your success. And in sales, the formula is simple. If you have enough pipeline, you're gonna be able to hit your number. And in order to generate pipeline, you need to identify your top accounts, you need to identify the top prospects in those accounts, and then you need to relentlessly call them, email them, carrier pitch them, whatever it takes to get their attention. That's what I'm doing right now. And when I think about self-development, I feel like a lot of people throw that around loosely, and it's like, what does it actually mean? Self-development to me means watching motivational videos, watching videos like this one, educating yourself on other people's perspectives, not just listening, not just watching, but also reading as well. I'm reading Fanatical Prospecting. It has me in the right mentality to go find out some pipeline, so that's what I'm focused on right now. It's the end of a long day here at the office. I'm doing one of the most relaxing things you can do, watching trees blow in the wind. Check this view out right here. The trees are just absolutely blowing and swaying with the sunset in the background. It's a really beautiful backdrop here that unfortunately you guys can't see because we're gonna face the camera this way for lighting. I wanna talk about one of the most common myths and comments and questions I get is, do you need to be an extrovert to succeed in sales? I'm gonna talk about me being a natural introvert and how that comes into play. You may not expect that for someone who works in software sales, makes cold calls, and is constantly making new videos each and every day and putting themselves out there for the world to see. I think it's common for the natural status quo to think, hey, extroverted, super outgoing, you like to talk to people, naturally they would be a good fit to work in sales, right? Because sales, you have to be willing to knock on doors, to call people, to build relationships, et cetera, et cetera. In reality, I think being an introvert is actually a better character trait to succeed in sales because you're naturally a bit more reserved, I'd say, and perhaps a little bit shy. And I'd consider myself someone super shy who doesn't necessarily do great in social situations. But I think when you look at the skills that makes a great salesperson, first and foremost, listening. You learn more by listening than talking. And in sales, you need to ask great questions and then sit down and listen. And then of course, communication. Communication is really important. I'd say it's probably a tie between introvert and extrovert. But bottom line, you don't need to be an extrovert to succeed in sales. I'm someone who's an introvert. I still think that to an extent I experience social anxiety, which is why I don't necessarily go out and party a lot. So I like to do my thing. I like to show up each and every day. And if you find yourself someone that you naturally are recharged by being alone and you feel like you're an introvert, you're perfectly suitable to go into sales. But if you're also an extrovert as well, which plenty of you who are watching probably are, then you'd be great in sales as well. And when we think about the earth, 8 billion people on the earth, probably not the best place to be an introvert, but everyone has different personality traits. One of the other thoughts that's been at the top of my mind recently that I want to share, because anytime I share things to you guys, it always makes me feel a little bit better, is in sales, it doesn't matter how you performed. All that matters is how you're gonna perform. What I mean by that is if you just came off a really high performing month, if you just came off a really high performing quarter, you should be proud of your work and you should build on that momentum and you should have even more confidence as to what you're gonna project and do in the future. But in sales, at the start of a new quarter, at the start of a new month, you're back to zero. You're back to in the red. And that's where I find myself now, with the biggest number I've ever had, back in the zero, high expectations, high targets. And I think that there is a lot of pressure that can come from that. I don't feel the pressure because I don't really care if I perform poorly. If I perform poorly, I would be upset with myself, but I wouldn't worry about how other people view me. Whereas I think it's the other way around for the broad majority of people. But ultimately, if you're a salesperson, if you're concerned, if you find yourself in a position where you're thinking, wow, I got a big number, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I'd say take a step back, analyze the situation, look at what is your pipeline? Do you feel like you have the pipeline? If you don't have the pipeline, you need to get aggressive with the prospecting like you just saw me doing right there. And just believe in yourself. That's how I'm thinking. It's a Friday evening, I'm going into the weekend. I think that the Friday evenings are always a through point to Monday. However, I feel leaving the office Friday, I'm gonna reset and then come in Monday. But ultimately, I wanna leave the week on a high note. And I feel like I'm on a good note. Even though I didn't close any revenue this week, I always will believe in myself. And it's like a sports game. You can never give up or count the game over until the end. So win in sales, especially early in the quarter, always have belief in yourself and always believe it's gonna work out. Set your target big and then recognize what are the actions I need to do to actually get there. Prospecting, self-development, doing my sales calls, whatever it may be, staying late, showing up early, and ultimately showing up, because that's all that matters here. So we're starting to ramble on, to be quite honest, guys. I'm pretty ready to get out of here. I'm the last one here, and as you saw, the first one to show up. I don't do that just for these videos. I do that because that's really what I like to do. I like to work hard. It makes me feel better as a person working hard, so that's why I do it. I'm gonna grab my backpack now. I'm gonna head out. I think we're gonna get some food. We're gonna prepare for a long run tomorrow. We are officially registered, as I shared in the last video, for the Dallas Marathon. So we gotta get on the training routine. I've been running for a while, but we're gonna pick up the training a lot. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I think this will be the last clip in the video. We'll get it going, we'll get it live soon. And if you're watching the video to this point, drop an emoji in the comments of a workout equipment. Like, I've been sitting on that ball right there and I probably had back problems already, but for the sake of the algorithm, for the sake of the video, for the sake of me reading the comment down below, I read them all. Comment an emoji of a workout or an exercise thing, because that will show that you're watching to this point. Really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and like the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and connect with me on LinkedIn. What are you doing? See you in the next video. Bye.